Hey, Inspired Tribe, my fellow freedom lovers. John Nolan here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for being here. Waiting for a few people to jump on. We just scheduled this. We're kind of taking it one step at a time today. You know, it's election day here in the United States, a monumental transformational election. And part of what we're going to talk about here, just for a few minutes, really, is connected to that, but it's a much bigger picture. But let me first say this to all of you. We're healthy, we're wealthy, we're whole, we're free. Healthy, wealthy, whole, and free. You beautiful, wonderful people. Welcome on YouTube, welcome on Rumble. Thank you for tuning in. So, the real shift will start tomorrow. Of course, you know, you've heard these words before, and I'm going to go and quickly just say hello to everyone and skip the personalized introductions today because I think this is important. And it's always a personal experience to me that triggers some things. So, you know, you might think we have a big, huge master plan on how we do these things, how we do our videos, but no, we pick up on what is happening energetically in our own lives and what is happening, and we kind of feel our way really intuitively on what might be important, and then we hopefully kind of get it out there. But really, the big shift is starting tomorrow. Again, another big shift. And this is sometimes it is frustrating for people because they say, when will this end? We are in a process. I said it before, it's a marathon, not a sprint. But what's really important, and this is going to sound political, but it really isn't, because it's applicable everywhere, not just here because we have elections. But the United States has been very instrumental, you know, culturally and in entertainment and in politics, in exporting a lot of things to the world. A lot of people that are truth seekers in the world are first exploring America's conspiracy theories before they go to their own country. It's always been like that. So this in this particular sense, there's going to be some trend setting. But what needs to begin tomorrow first, before we go into anything bigger, we need to continue the conversation. A lot of people feel that the masses are lost. And to a certain extent, that might be true. But there are a lot of people out there who are still willing to talk and sit down and listen. And we need to continue to have that conversation. It's important that we keep talking and keep bringing together. See, the Creator works on our hearts no matter where we are, always continually works in our hearts. It's just the way it is. It's the nature of divinity to do that, the nature of the great creator of God to do that. So we also, likewise, must work on our own hearts, but also keep lovingly working with people on their minds and on bringing truth about. Because what I predict is going to begin to happen is all the truths we've uncovered, all the lies, the deceptions, all of that, it's beginning to go into another phase. It's beginning to go into the justice phase, I believe. I believe we're going to see countless investigations. I think we're going to see earthquakes, seismic shifts, monumental fear in a lot of people because of the political change and because of the will, at least as it seems to be, the will of the candidates running and that are winning today, um, to go all the way. We might, for the first time, see a Congress that's actually willing to do something and will have the majority to do it. I think we're going to see leadership change in the speaker seats. That's for sure. I don't foresee, you know, Nancy Pelosi or, you know, people like Mitch McConnell and these old people who've been around and who've filled their pockets up for such a long time and have been so detrimental to the health of this nation. I think new people are going to move in those seats. I think it's going to be very interesting. But what we can do is we have to continue our work, continue our conversation, and don't and as best as we can not alienate people. You know, people are changing their hearts, they're changing their minds. As a matter of fact, in all of the years that we've been doing this, in, you know, behind the scenes for a long time, we were in the public eye before, a long time ago. Then we were more behind the scenes. Now we're more in the public eye again. But in all of these years, I've seen miraculous transformations in people. Nobody immune to waking up one morning and feeling the love of the creator in their heart and then acting accordingly. It so many people are feeling it and are changing. And so I just want to encourage you, have a lion heart. Have a lion heart moving forward. Keep bringing it every day. Keep helping people when they ask for it, and keep putting out little pieces of truth, of love, of light, of all these things, because we're going to need it. We're going to go, it's happening. We're going to go through such a, it's only the beginning stage, but we're going to go through such a truth revealing state, and it's going to hit the normies. It's going to hit the people that never were paying attention to it. It's just going to be um, monumental in its size and proportions, and it's going to take a while, because what you have discovered, what you have learned and researched over years, decades, what we have all done, it's going to now happen in a public eye, and no truth will stay covered anymore, and no truth will be, every lie will be revealed. Everything I'm talking about, um the human trafficking, the horrific stuff that happens with children everywhere in the world. I'm talking about the unimaginable levels of corruption. I'm talking about the very fabric of what people believe this nation is. I'm talking about the legal system. I'm talking about the banking system. I'm talking about the straw man system. I'm talking about everything. It's all going to really be presented to the public, and also people are going to be held accountable. We're just seeing it. We're seeing the first reactions already today. Some people are reacting fearfully because they know what's coming. And in this, we need to look to our neighbor and forget about the labels, conservative, liberal, all that for a little bit, and realize we're all people on this plane here. We're all men and women and children, brothers and sisters. And so many of us have the exact same wishes and desires moving forward. We want to have a peaceful, beautiful life for ourselves, our families. We want to live in, we want to live in abundance, and we want to have fresh food and clean air and clean water, and these basic things. And we are beginning to realize how a very dark force has been keeping this from us and has infested us. It has infested us, our hearts. And that's the real cleanup. So I encourage you, look over the fence, talk to your neighbors, even if they're crazy and they're flying their Biden flag still, or they're flying their transhumanist, really, because that's what the flag really means, the transhumanist flags. You know, at least give them a word, a friendly word, and maybe you can find some common ground. Sometimes that can already help, and you will see that when the truth is being revealed to people, and when they can't look away anymore, and when it hits close to home, they might look to you for guidance and leadership. They might look to you, and they will remember you as a friendly voice. That's what we need to do. We need to be those people. We need to be the friends and the family that just didn't give up. And, within our own families, we need to be willing to come back to the table also. That's one of the great truths of diplomacy, which I have always admired. I think diplomacy is one of the craziest, but one of the greatest tools we have in the box. And I have, I got this from my dad. He's a very diplomatic guy. I mean, he was always able to bring two completely opposing parties in business together. And somehow he brought them on the same page. Because when you're a diplomat, you're also a mediator. And we need to be very diplomatic and realize that how peace was established in the past was always done by people, lower level people, that were willing to return to the table even after it seemed like there was nothing else to talk about. You have to be willing to sit down again and try again. Listen to the people next and across from you. Realize they have lives too, they have hearts too, they have desires too, dreams too. As crazy as some of them are, and as misguided and misled as some of them are, still they have it. And when we can do that continually, we have an impact. We have an impact because of the love that we show. It doesn't mean they necessarily believe what we're saying, but oftentimes they just feel like somebody cares, somebody still cares. And the real radical part in this, there's only always a handful of people that are extremely radical, lost, or not a handful, but a small minority that's completely lost, where you just such a level of psychological and spiritual illness. I don't even know how to access that. But a lot of people are accessible, and that's whom we want to reach together, the lion hearts, and show up. And when we get frustrated, you know, pull back, go meditate, go walk, go pray, go seek guidance from your creator. And when you're in a better state, try again. That's my encouragement. I see more chaotic times coming, because that's what always happens when, when in a family, when finally someone is willing to lift the rug and go back to what has been said and done and hidden, and for the purpose of healing, of course. When that finally happens, oh my, all hell breaks loose. Because you just brought up all that dust, and people blame you. People will say, well, but you did that, and you just go, no, I just lifted the rug, people. I didn't do that. I didn't do all that crap. I'm just showing it to you. It's still there. Still needs our attention. Still needs healing. Still needs us to get together. And last but not least, as I said, within your families, seek healing, seek conversation at best. And if that doesn't work, at least seek a truce. Can we get together? Thanksgiving's coming up. Can we get together and share a meal? And maybe we don't talk about politics. Maybe we don't talk about religion. Maybe we don't talk about these things. Maybe we talk about the future. Maybe we talk about how nice it would be to plant a garden. Maybe we talk about how wonderful it would be if the children in that family can pick fresh fruits. And maybe we talk about how should we start with an apple tree or a plum tree, right? We have all these options, and we should use them wisely. There's much work to do, and I encourage you to do the work that you're called to do, what you do best with the least amount of effort, and what comes most naturally to you. That's the thing that you're going to have the biggest impact with. So that's what starts. It starts every day, but it starts especially now as we're moving into a new political period in this country, a truly new one, I think. And as a lot of things are going to happen very quickly, we're going to need that cool heads, open hearts, and warm hearts, but absolutely steadfastness to realize we can never, ever again sacrifice our values, morals, and principles and our relationship with the Creator. Ultimately, we serve the grand creation and nothing else. So it needs to be in alignment with that. All right, tribe. We are going to come back probably later tonight when we have a little more information on what's happening at the polls. I will say this: we've had some weird outages with machines today, which just simply shouldn't happen. I mean, you just use them very seldomly. It's every 2 years or so, and maybe in between for some smaller stuff. But truly, I mean, if that's all a company does is build voting machines, if they can't get them to work on election day, well, let's get rid of them. Let's go back to paper ballots. That's how it should be, anyways. So we've seen that. We've seen people being turned away. We haven't received confirmation. We heard in Arizona voters were turned away because of that. In Jersey, machines were out. It's always interestingly enough, Maricopa County, such an important county politically speaking. So interesting what's happening. We're going to come back and trust that the will of the people from the heart will actually find its way into this process. All right, tribe. We'll talk to you later. Thank you for tuning in. We love you. We appreciate you. And we'll be back with you again very, very soon.